What is up everyone, and welcome to some more F1 23 League Racing. We are back in the Streamers and Co VRL for round number 9 of the second season of this fantastic league that we are a part of, and we are going to be at the Bahrain Grand Prix this time. Now, it's been a week since our last race. If you're watching this video, it's been almost 2 weeks since the race in Monza, which actually ended up going pretty well for me, all things considered. I was expecting it wouldn't be a particularly strong race for me, but we came away with a P6 finish and scored some more good points this season. Made our way up the championship order, and I'm hoping that here in Bahrain we will be able to achieve something similar. Hopefully, get into the points. I don't think that we will have the luxury of scoring quite as many points this time around. It's not a track that lends itself to quite as many incidents as the previous couple tracks of Monza, Saudi Arabia, but certainly I do think that maybe a P10, P9 finish is on the cards if we can show some good pace. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to pick up a point or two, hopefully, and we will see what goes on. First and foremost, we have to get into qualifying. We're going to attempt to do 3 runs here, as we usually do in this league, on the soft compound tyres. First run was a 130.1. It was okay, but definitely there is a lot of room for improvement there, I would say. So hopefully we can make our way into the 129s at the very least. And you can see that I am currently improving on my second flying lap by a couple tenths by the looks of things. Horn Nielsen getting out the way of me there in the Alfa Romeo, and yeah, it looks like we're going to improve into the 129s. It's going to be a 129.9, but we actually don't improve up the order because both RC and Horn Nielsen there both in the 129.9s as well. So yeah, very close the gap between us at the moment, but still down on them for the time being. And as we approach the final corners for the 3rd time here in qualifying, we are once again approaching a couple tenths up on our best time. And I don't know how many positions that's going to move us up the order. As we come to the line, it's a 129.7. We're very close to El Flanker there, only a couple hundredths of a second, but unfortunately it wasn't quite enough. And that is going to see us in P11 for the start of the race, which is going to happen very shortly after this one. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like definitely the potential to be top 10 there. I maybe could have beaten Horn Nielsen. I don't think I could have been close to the likes of Phil and Anto and Ryan there. I think that big gap between Horn Nielsen and Phil was probably the best. I could have maybe slopped myself into that. Dustin was getting pole position there, and then as we look down the order, we can see where everyone else finished. Once again, we qualify about a second faster than Beak. So yeah, hopefully he won't cause too many problems for us. I know that me and him kind of have this etiquette thing that if one of us is blatantly faster than the other, we will kind of jump out the way of the other if it makes sense. So hopefully for my pride, I won't have to do that. But if if he's about a second a lap slower than me, then hopefully that shouldn't be too much of an issue. But yeah, in terms of finishing position, I think top 10 should be easily achievable here. If we're starting in P11, I'm almost certain that at least one car in front is going to have some kind of incident. We're going to attempt a medium soft here. I was looking at potentially doing sort of 11 or 12 laps on the mediums and then switching over to the softs for the remainder of the race. I think we're going to do 12 laps by the looks of things on the mediums, then switch to the softs and go on the softs for 8 laps at the end. Just push like mad on the softs and see what we can do. But yeah, I do like this track. If you've watched my Team career mode, you will know that I tend to go decently well around here. I showcase pretty solid pace compared to the AI in this game. So it really is just a case of finding out whether that translates into a league racing context. Obviously, we've not done a league race around here before, but we will see how it goes. Now it is time for the lights to come on. And the lights go out, and it looks like we've had a pretty good getaway here considering we're on the medium compound tyres. Looks like we've already got a little bit of pace on some of the cars in front. Phil in particular doesn't seem like he's had a great start. He's already been swallowed up by a couple of cars there. We're going to have to take to the outside of the corner in order to avoid going into the back of Horn Nielsen there. And in doing so, we actually managed to get ahead of Phil as well. So he's gone down from P8 to P11 at the start of this race. A very disappointing start for him, but we are up and into the points. And it looks like Andy there has disconnected as well. So that should be another position that we are going to be able to make up with no real issues. So yeah, a couple positions made up already. If we can hold on to this kind of position, then that would be ideal. I don't know whether that's going to play out in reality or not. As you can see, a few people getting crossed up there by the looks of things, Ryan and Flanker, and we do manage to get past the AI of Andy. It looks like Phil was thinking about going for a Fernando Alonso move on me there, but decided against it. and we have to kind of get out of turning into the corner a little bit there to avoid going into Horn Nielsen once again. He seems a little bit slow compared to us at the moment. I think the soft compound tyres are going to be about the only thing that's going to maybe keep him ahead of us. So hopefully we can challenge him and get ahead of him nice and quickly, so we can maybe try and set our sights on some of the guys further ahead. See if we can stay with the likes of Flanker and Ryan, who I'd be very interested to try and stay with, as you know, in previous seasons of this league, me and him showcased very similar pace, but this season he seems to be a little bit further ahead of me. So hopefully we can start to close up that pace differential between the two of us, and maybe this is the perfect track to do it at. Dustin's still leading the Grand Prix at the moment as we come across the line to start lap 2, and even without DRS we just seem to have the pace advantage on Horn Nielsen here. We're going to go up the inside at turn 1. A bit of bumper cars going on there, not sure what happened there. Found out later on it was actually RC, his brake pedal seemed to fail. So yeah, we were fortunate to escape without damage, but we are now up into P8, and as we come into turn 4, Horn Nielsen has gone straight into the back of us, and he spun us round, and we are all the way down to, is this P17, 16, not quite sure, 14. Okay, it could be worse, but yeah, that was very, very frustrating. Almost a certain penalty for him, you would have to imagine, for doing something like that, because he's effectively, you know, massively ruined my race. I've lost 6 places off the back of that, so yeah, very, very disheartening from Horn Nielsen there, but hopefully we'll be able to start to close a bit of a gap. In front, you can see Phil there in P13. We're pretty close to him as we come to the end of lap 4, so hopefully we'll be able to maybe try and think about clearing him. We will have the DRS, of course, but he's also going to have the DRS on simple in front as well, so it's going to be a little bit of a train here perhaps, which seems to be going all the way to the Mercedes of NWE. I'm not sure what position he's in. It's looking like that's 8th or 9th, I think. So yeah, I think it's 9th. So this is a big train running all the way back from 9th to 14th, and it will be very hard whilst this train stays as it is to be able to get points. I think that we're going to have to maybe get a little bit of luck go our way if we want to finish in the points now, because I don't think that anything's going to work out for us, be it strategy or be it you know, just generally having the pace to catch up with these guys. But we will see whether that is the case or not. As things stand, it seems like Phil is actually breaking away from me a little bit here. You can see that the gap was less than a second on the previous lap, but he's broken away to over a second now by the looks of things. So I think it's going to be quite tough. I think it's going to be very, very tough for us to catch up with the cars in front. But one car who I was pretty optimistic I would be able to catch, no disrespect to him because I know he'll probably be watching this video, but it is my teammate. As I've said before, I do feel like I have a little bit more pace in the car than he does perhaps, and that should mean that hopefully I will be able to get past him sooner rather than later. You saw that Kaznuki pitted there, and that enabled me to make up one position. We'll see if any more people are going to pit on this occasion. Yeah, a few people, Dustin, and there was somebody else, I can't remember who it was now, but somebody else pitted, as Andy does make the overtake on me. Not really too surprising, given that when he's actually connected to the race, he definitely does have a bit more pace in the car than I do, so yeah, it didn't really surprise me too much that he would be overtaking me there. And yeah, a few more soft compound runners coming into the pits, including Horn Nielsen and Beak and Flanker, among others. And that promotes us up the order, but obviously they will be on their fresh tyres for a few more laps than I will, so I'm going to have to probably try and close them down towards the end of the race. Right now, in these laps before I pit, it's just going to be about trying to push basically as hard as I can to be able to make sure that I don't fall too far out of touch with the cars who've already pitted, because the last thing I want is to be several seconds down with them, and then I can't make the gap up. So yeah, hopefully that won't be the case, but we will see how things pan out as the race unfolds. Kaznuki, who's already pitted, did get back ahead of me there, and it seems like there might be a few people who are also going to go for the move. Toasty, who's behind me actually, I don't think has pitted yet, so hopefully we'll be able to keep him behind. And yeah, as we come to the end of lap 10, a few more people, including some of the medium runners, now coming into the pits, the likes of Phil and I think Toasty went in there as well. So perhaps that was the lap I should have pitted on, looking at the face of things. But we're going to stay out for one more lap. I think we'll probably come in at the end of this one. Sim Racer and Undertaker Dylan, both of them getting past me there, and they had already pitted, so that wasn't really anything I was particularly concerned about. And yeah, now we come into the pits along with most people who hadn't pitted yet, and we're going to be going on to the softs until the end of the Grand Prix now, so hopefully they'll work out for us. Quite a few people with penalties here,
okay,
but
mate, go. Perfect
yeah,
job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice
not
stop
really
sign.
much that I think I'll be able to do in terms of staying with them. I think NWE with his 5-second penalty there, if we can stay within 5 seconds of him, that would obviously be that would be fantastic. But Toasty has undercut us. Beak has, well, not undercut us because he was ahead of us before, but he's definitely further ahead than he was. So yeah, I think we're going to have to really push hard on these soft compound tyres now if we want to make up these positions. As we get onto lap 13, you can see that oh, there's someone retiring here by the looks of things, and it is KK. I think he got damage and he just decided it wasn't worth going on because he would have either had to have pitted and he would have been way down the order, or he would have had to continue on damage and probably get overtaken. So he chose to retire. Becomes the first retirement from the Grand Prix, and in doing so, actually, we're now only a few tenths off of Beak as well. So I'm hoping that we should be able to close him down pretty quickly, and yeah, maybe we can make the overtake on him here. He is out of 1 second range of the car in front, so he won't have that DRS. We were closing him down even before we got the DRS, but now that we've got that DRS, we are absolutely blitzing past him, and hopefully that is the last we will have to worry about him in this Grand Prix. Now we're going to try and set our sights on Horn Nielsen, who has a 3-second penalty, and he is in the position directly ahead of us. So obviously he was the guy who took us out at the very beginning of the race. I am hoping that if I can close that gap to him, I should be able to overtake him. And well, maybe I don't want to overtake him, because maybe what happened at the very beginning of the race would happen again if I did. So maybe my ideal situation is to just stick within that 3-second gap behind him. I don't envision that I could get higher than 12th here regardless of what happens, because Toasty is several seconds down on Andy, who's in P11 now. It's about 3 or 4 seconds the gap between the two of them. I'm not sure if I can close that gap in the space of, you know, what is now 3 laps basically. Meanwhile, I'm not really closing the gap to the cars in front either. I'm kind of just in a bit of a no man's land here. So yeah, this could be a fairly quick affair from here to the flag now, I reckon. If nothing chaotic happens. There was no safety cars or anything like that, which is quite surprising for this league. Usually there's about 3 safety cars per race. So to have none is quite impressive. Pretty solid standards of driving here, obviously, apart from the obvious incidents that I've been caught up with. There were a few others that were questionable, but it looks like there is a last lap battle going on between Horn Nielsen and Toasty here, and maybe if they hold each other up enough, maybe I can go and get involved in that battle as well. But it seems like I'm out of the DRS as Horn Nielsen has spun it. He's done an Akita Mazepin, and we have overtaken him. He's going to be absolutely gutted about that, but it's not going to make too much of a difference. He wasn't on for points anyway. And yeah, the gap to Phil now, who's in P11, is 4 seconds, so I don't think we're going to be closing him down. I think Toasty might just be a little bit too far ahead as well. Undertaker Dylan wins another race. He obviously won in Monza, and he wins in Bahrain as well. So yeah, a really, really solid run from him, maybe making a late championship push. He only joined the league sort of halfway through, so if he does manage to make a championship push, that would be quite something. But yeah, we make our way into the final corner. We're not going to be close enough to Toasty to even think about closing him down, and yeah, unfortunately we're going to be handed our worst result of the season so far as we cross the line to take P13. Just nothing we could do on this occasion. I don't know why, but yeah, we really seems to have some kind of problem that just meant we didn't have the pace on the cars in front of us. So yeah, I don't know if maybe I picked up some shadow damage, or whether that really is just my true pace, or what the case is. But in any situation, you know, obviously that incident with Horn Nielsen kind of set us up for failure, and there was really no coming back from it after that. And yeah, hopefully we'll be able to build back better in Imola next time out. So yeah, this is the top 3. In the end, it was Undertaker Dylan P1, Alex, that's Sim Racer, in P2, and then we had Dustin in P3. Actually, no, it's not Dustin, is it? It's Kaznuki. My mistake. I saw the Red Bull, but Dustin is in an AlphaTauri. So yeah, it's Kaznuki in P3, picking up a podium. I'm sure that that he'll be pretty chuffed with that one. And yeah, a very, very mediocre race for me, quite frankly. I didn't really have much racing going on with anyone, and after the first couple laps, when I got taken out, there was just nothing I could do, basically. So yeah, in terms of the championship, Alex, that sim racer, extends his lead even further out in front. I think Anto is currently still in P2 off the back of several really consistent finishes, and then I don't know where we are. We're about 15th or 16th, I think, on 17 points at the moment. So yeah, we're not as involved in the championship battle as we were last season, but hopefully we can get some more solid points finishes under our belt before the season comes to a close. Next race is in Imola, so hopefully that one will go well for us. And that is going to be it for this video. So if you enjoyed, please make sure you like and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.